Wish there was a
Good.
card sooner because my whole family thinks I murdered my housekeeper.
Freak out, dude. You did murder your housekeeper.
I did not. She's
And on that
alive.
note, we are back. It's UFC 327, Yuri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg. As always, your host, Brad Gleason, here with my fabulous co-host, Cody Hooper. This is
In
Read
the
Between
building.
the Lines. We're going to go through the best picks, bets, get you your freaking money out, pull it out now. Put a loan on the house. Who cares what happens? Because shit's going down. I'm 10 and 0. I'm on a burner. If you're not getting on board, you might as well go home. Now, as far as Cody's picks go, it's been a little rocky for you as of late, has it not?
It has been, but Brad, I don't know if you know this gambling logic. You never count your chips at the table, and it's kind of what you're doing right now.
Not counting them at the table. I was counting them at the bank, and boy, I'm rolling in that motherfucking dough, baby.
Touche, touche. I love it. Love it. Happy to be here. Excited for this card. Um, we're not old enough to fight on it, but we're really, really happy to break it down.
Well, that's a fact. It's an interesting card, and we're gonna dig all the way into it. I love the main event, but it feels like we needed that co-main of Josh Van and Tatsuro Atara to add a little bit of youth to the card. A lot of old names here, but the depth is good. Like I can never say this word.
Name recognition.
Name recognition is solid. But then you're like, all right, well, this has absolutely zero stakes. This guy's 70 years old. Cub Swanson's on a retirement fight. All due respect to Cub. I'm
All
sure
due
we'll get
respect.
into that later. Also surprised to see Johnny Walker's 35. I'm just going to hit a little tidbit off the top. I didn't realize he was that old.
He do
But
be being fucking old.
but we felt like we needed that Josh Van Tatsuro Tara fight, and thank God it's just getting delayed. It's not like off. They're going to be fighting, I believe in April or May. It's already April. I believe in May in New Jersey. Could be wrong about that, but it's not too far away. So pumped about that because that fight is so fucking good, and I was very much looking forward to breaking that down. Just two young up and coming flyweights. But the beauty of this card is we got some certified psychos on it. And
We
it
do.
starts at the top. And his name is Yuri Prochazka, a certified psycho. The ultimate smash the buttons character if you're playing UFC 5. That's how this boy fights in real life. Yuri Prochazka back for another chance at the title. I guess this would be his fourth attempt. He's won one of them against Glover Teixeira in one of the best fucking fights of all time.
A banger, a beauty.
But then ran into a young buck named Alex Pereira who's now gone. There's a lot of stuff that has happened in the light heavyweight division, which gave this opportunity to Carlos Ulberg. I think, tell me if you feel differently coming out of the Ankalaev Alex Pereira fight. Obviously, Yuri fought on the card, fought Khalil Roundtree, knocked him out. Carlos Ulberg was there, I think, a week or two off of knocking Dominic Reyes. So that was still fresh on everybody's mind. Did you feel one way or the other on who you thought was going to get the next title fight against Alex Pereira had he stayed in the division?
I didn't think it was necessarily going to be Olberg. That being said, I didn't have a lifeline. I wasn't tied to anybody. The You said it perfectly. The light heavyweight division is in fucking shambles right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that Yuri's kind of cleaned it out already,
Yeah.
and so it's just a weird division.
Undefeated against guys not named Alex Pereira.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's a
Jamal
wild one.
Hill, Khalil Roundtree. Those are really the only two guys still hanging around the top. Glover's gone. He hasn't fought Jan Blachowicz, but he's not really in contention. So we need some new life at light heavyweight, which is why this is fun because it is a fresh matchup. If Yuri Prochazka had got another shot, we would have been watching Alex Pereira versus Yuri 3, in which he had already got knocked out twice, which felt a little weird, but also like the style of fight that Yuri brings is so entertaining that I understand why you keep shoving him into positions that maybe aren't deserving or that he's just going to get knocked out in again just because he's so freaking psychotic. But I actually do like me some Carlos Ulberg. I think he's a little slept on in the division. The guy's riding a 9 fight win streak. He's coming out of City Kickboxing, same camp as Israel Adesanya. And He's just clean. He's like the opposite of Yuri Prochazka. He is clean. He is technical. He's got a nasty little check hook, and he doesn't get hit a ton. But when you're in a fight with a psycho like Yuri Prochazka, hard not to get hit, but that's a super big advantage.
It is 100%. You're gonna get hit fighting your Prochazka though. One way or the other, he's gonna hit you with something. I can't tell you what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something.
Now, odds on this fight, very close. I think it's actually like even money. Minus
Yeah, it's
115, Yuri Prochazka, minus 105, Carlos Ulberg. So not a ton of money to be. Well, actually, don't hate the value on the money line if you feel strongly about one guy or another. But how did you kind of see this fight? How do you break this down? It's 5 rounds, which Yuri doesn't see a lot of fifth round. He doesn't see a lot of third rounds, that guy. 28
no.
knockouts on his resume. He's a fucking psycho. How do you see this one playing out when it comes to the betting line, and what do you find?
Yeah, you kind of touched on this a little bit. It's a weird, weird fight for Carlos Ulberg to get somebody as washed up as Dominic Reyes, knock him out, take care of him, take care of business, and then go to a title shot. It just feels weird. Obviously you're Prochazka coming off a knockout October 4th against an axe murderer and Khalil Roundtree. Dude, this is a weird, weird, weird fight. I have Euro Prochazka my money line, and I hate it. I hate everything about it because Carlos Ulberg doesn't get hit. But I just think it's a huge step up. I mean, Carlos Ulberg hasn't fucking fought anyone. And now
Yeah,
he's fighting maybe the one of the best light heavyweights of all time. He's gonna go down as that. I mean, he's an absolute murderer, psycho, a ninja, whatever the fuck he wants to be. I just think it's a really, really big step up for Carlos Solberg.
and he's so unpredictable. Yuri Prochazka is so unpredictable. Like you could, I have kind of a fun stat here, and I don't know if this is going to sway you or not, but uh, Yuri Prochazka in rounds that were completed, so rounds that were scored in his last 5 fights, he's only won one out of his last seven. So there were 7 scored rounds. He only won one of them.
Wow, I did not know that.
Now he won 3 of those fights. The other 2 were him getting head kicked and beat by Alex Pereira. So the rounds that weren't scored were usually him Kane knocking out somebody, Rakic, Hill, Khalil Roundtree. But he's such a like it's hard to you assume a knockout. I mean, you assume is that kind of how you see it, or you like this guy's going to a decision? Like,
I mean, there's just no fucking way this fight goes to a decision. Like both these guys knock people out. I just don't see it as a decision. 66% of the money is on Yuri Prochazka, though.
yeah, I don't doubt that. He's just such a fan favorite, just for in general. I think that kind of skews these lines a little bit, but also like a fucking psycho. And you kind of said it with Carlos Oberg. He doesn't have the biggest wins on his resume. Obviously, Dominic Reyes, who say washed up, but was on a 3 fight win streak when they fought. And then before that was Jan Blachowicz. Before that was Volkan Ozdemir. And those 2 fights were definitive, but they were very clean. And that's what I think
Mhm.
kind of the story of this fight is, especially for Carlos Oberg, is like, how the fuck do you keep a fight clean when you have a psycho across from you that's just going to run into your face and throw spinning elbows, jump knees, like just push the pace. But that being
Mhm.
said, if you can't keep it clean, like you're probably going to be up on the scorecards. I thought some value here was to live bet Yuri. I didn't pick it as my pick, but like wait a round or maybe 2 where he's probably going to be down. Like I said, 0
Mhm.
and 2 against Khalil before knocking him out. He was 1 and 1 with Jamal Hill, 0 and 1 with Alexander Rakic. Like he's probably going to lose the round just on the pure fact of he's not very technical, you know?
No.
He's not very technical. And Carlos Oberg is going to kind of pop some shit out. He's going to be on his bike in the first round. So I like the idea of like live betting Yuri just to get a little bit more value out of him if that's the way you like to go. For me personally, I'm just going to take over 2.5. I think this
I
is
don't
going
hate it.
over 2.5 rounds. Uh, at minus 115, truth be told, I kind of think Carlos is going to get it done.
He totally could. Those city kickboxing kids are clinical. They are very clean. They're very, very good at winning rounds.
And it's also just like, I don't even know what I was about to say there, but it was going to be so freaking good. I had a
It
real
was.
point there
It
and just
was. It was going to be
completely
so
lost
good.
it mid-sentence. Son of a bitch. Oh, but I just like was too scared to flat out pick that because it could go completely like anything can happen in a fight with Yuri Prochazka. So like taking anybody but him, feels like a risk.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you
100%.
said, he doesn't really lose unless your name is Alex Pereira.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% the point. The age thing kind of does come into factor. I mean, Yuri is old. And Carlos is a younger cat.
I
I
actually
just
think the age gap is closer than you think. Carlos is 35, if I'm not mistaken.
oh,
Yeah,
I
he's an
thought he was
old
like
buck. He got in
29.
late, but
Okay,
old buck.
fair enough.
But he's also got like 15 fights, and Yuri Prohaska has like 40. So
Yeah, I
the
mean,
experience is way different.
100%.
But yeah, I'm if you're gun to head right now asking me who I think is going to win the fight, I low key think Carlos Ulberg is just going to be a little bit too technical for him. And it does kind of seem like when Yuri does struggle, the losses that we've seen him have to like Alex Pereira and was down pretty convincingly to Khalil Roundtree before just going full Yuri mode, full fuck
Hmm.
around and find out mode. He was down 2 rounds to Khalil Roundtree, and those are both like technical kickboxers.
Yeah,
So I think stylistically, it's one of the tougher matchups for Yuri. But you could just never count the guy out, and he's so fucking lovable. I don't ever want to pick against him, so I didn't. I just took the over 2.5 rounds. That might even be a stretch because these guys are both freaking finishers.
headhunters.
But we're
Not
gonna
going to be a
find
lot of
out.
wrestling going on.
No, there's gonna be zero wrestling in this fight.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of clinch work, but zero wrestling. I can almost assure that. But it's good that this is at the top of the bill because it does kind of, I mean, no disrespect to Azamat, Murzakanov, and Paulo Costa, but I feel like the level of fanfare drops off quite a bit after that fight. I Interesting fight still, and I'm actually a big fan of Azamat Murzakanov. He's a clean. There's not going to be a lot of wrestling in this one either. I actually think this is going to be one of the better fights on the card. I'm putting this live bet prize picks. I don't even know if that's a thing. Dog fight, fight of the night. I wonder if they do that. Do they offer you bonus bets? Anybody?
Sure. Yeah.
Who's to freaking say? If you can find it somewhere, fight of the night right here. I got a real feeling about it.
Got a real feeling.
But it's a kind of similar situation. Obviously, Paulo Costa is new to the division, 205 pounds, and you just never know where this guy's fucking head is at. Truth be
Never know.
told, do you like him moving up to 205 pounds, or are you like, who really cares?
He needed something. I mean, he was missing weight, always hurt. I mean, he needed something to where so he was actually going to be fighting.
Yeah.
Do I think it makes a huge difference? No. I mean, he's still huge for the division. He was a monster 185 pounder. He's just a large dude.
He's actually
Do,
bigger than Asmat. I mean, height wise. Like Asmat's undersized for the division. So I think it's a pretty solid matchup as far as guys you could have got at 205 because there's some real freaks like the two guys in the main event that are probably both 6'3", 6'4". Asmat's 5'11". Paulo Costa's 6 foot. So
yeah. But also don't sleep on Azmat's build. I mean, he doesn't look like he's gonna knock you the fuck out, and then he does. He's crazy. I love watching that guy fight. I had to do a refresher. I was just because he doesn't fight for very long. I was like, this guy, I know who this guy is, and then I did. I went through all of his fights in I don't know 30 minutes.
yeah, no kidding. Absolute knockout artist. And Paulo Costa, not notoriously chinny. I think the only person that knocked him out was Israel Adesanya. And he's fought some, I
Uh,
mean, he's fought some killers.
yeah, he
Uh,
has, and that was Izzy at like peak Izzy powers.
oh yeah. That was yeah, literal peak Izzy Powers, I believe. That might have been the top of the freaking program for Israel Adesanya. Um, but he also hasn't won 2 fights in a row since 2019.
I didn't know that.
Dude's been
That's
skidding.
crazy.
His
Yeah,
only
it has
two
been.
wins in the last 5 years are Luke Rockhold, which I believe was a retirement fight,
Yeah.
and then he beat Roman Kopylov, which, you know me, dog. I'm a Roman Kopylov rider. Big fan of Roman Kopylov. I'm sure I didn't look back, but I'm sure I picked him in that fight. I look at that as a pretty freaking good win, but also he's never really cracked into the top 15 with any sort of significance. So it's not like a huge name, huge win, huge value, like big time shit. The guys that he's losing to are good, of course. It's Sean Strickland, who's about to fight for another title. Robert Whitaker, Israel Adesanya, and then he's got one with Marvin Vettori, but I'm pretty sure he was pissed drunk for that one. If you remember that fight, that was Paulo Costa. They were supposed to fight at 185, then they were supposed to fight at a catch weight of 195, and then I think he weighed in at 205, so they fought at 205.
Yeah, Paulo Costa, dude, he's so talented. It just seems at times he's uninterested,
Yeah.
which is weird because like this is what you do for a living and like you're really, really good at it. But I mean, if Paulo Costa is locked in here, I do see it going a little bit differently than you do. I think if Paulo Costa wants to stick in this fight, he should use his grappling and his jujitsu and things like that here because I think if he fights on the feet all night, he's gonna get fucking slept.
Yeah, I'm worried about that. And like you said, Azamat's got some nasty freaking hands, slick, and he's powerful as fuck. Got that sleeper build, that kind of thick boy dad bod, and just chucking fists, a big old Russian motherfucker. Um, but but he's also like similar to Carlos Ulberg. He hasn't really fought a lot of like Paulo Costa, win or lose, has had higher names on his resume. Like
Yeah,
three former champions in the last five. Azamat Murzakanov got off of a Alexander Rakic win, which is solid, like mid tier. Light
Rakic was ranked seventh
heavyweight.
at the time.
Yeah, but he's never really got over anybody that's worth the fuck. I think he was on a four fight. I think he's currently on a four fight skid. Granted to Yuri, to Ankalaev, I think Volkan Osimir maybe, and then Azamat Murzakanov. Don't sleep on Rakic, a bad dude, but he's not like top level. We haven't really
Mhm.
seen what Azamat can do with the highest of the high level guys. I'm not even saying Paulo Costa is that, but I think it's going to be a harder fight for him than it has been in the past.
I agree with you here completely. Mainly because Paulo Costa fights really well against strikers. I mean, look at somebody like Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
I mean, that fight ended up being a split decision. I didn't see it as a split decision. It's none of my business. I don't score fights. But that fight did end up as a split decision, and he's got. I mean, we've said it 100 times. He's fought everybody in the fucking division. He's fought, or in whatever division he's fighting. He's fought absolute axe murderers, people that could kill people easily. And is he at the peak of his powers? And he's just fought so many good guys. It's hard to pick against him. I just don't really see, unless he wrestles his absolute balls off, how he wins this fight. I don't know if you're kind of in a similar boat.
Yeah. I took Azamat Murzakanov money line. Dude's I haven't even mentioned it yet. Dude's 16-0.
Yeah.
Dude's five of his six wins in the UFC have been by knockout, never been defeated. An absolute fucking savage. I think he's only on the rise here. Let's see how high he can get, but I don't think kind of old withered Paulo Costa is going to turn him back here. Shit could happen. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think this is going to win fight of the night for whatever reason. I just have that inclination that Paulo does have a little bit of dog in him. This is the same guy that freaking went toe to toe with Yoel Romero. You know, he's a bad motherfucker, but just feels like he's a little past caring. Not even maybe his prime, but like caring.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like he gives a fuck. I have the over 1.5 here. Not a great number, kind of difficult to make money on this fight in general, but in the case that Paulo Costa does show up and give all of the fucks in the world and wrestles well and is clinical and um no Hamza is or I whatever, fuck it, I just butchered his name. He is a southpaw, which opens him up to body kicks in the Paulo Costa fight. Paulo Costa loves to kick the absolute fuck out of people.
Yeah, he kicked the shit out of Roman Kopylov. That was one of my notes. Is like, dude, his kicks are brutal.
So I mean that's gonna be a big thing. And I mean, his takedown defense isn't awesome. It's pretty basic shit. I mean, watched all of his fights. Like I said, it didn't take very long, and people shot in, and he didn't necessarily really get taken down, but he didn't blow me away with his
Yeah,
clinch work or his takedown defense or anything like that. And Paulo Costa can take anybody down.
yeah, yeah. I like it. Interesting fight. You mentioned this before. I don't know if I've already said it, but the entire card's tight lines, kind of hard fights to pick. This was a really difficult one for me just because all of them I'm like, I don't know. Maybe this guy, is he really fighting? And it's no different here. Curtis Blaydes versus Josh Hokit, a heavyweight fight. Uh, did you refresh yourself on a little bit of Josh Hokit? Because the guy's a fucking psycho, a
I did
certified freaking psycho.
I did, and I watched, I think it's half of his, I mean, I guess it's still his media day, quote unquote, interview.
Yeah,
I'd never heard him say he was going to sew somebody's anus to their head. I've never heard anybody say that before.
he's quite the
Um,
character.
yeah, a former NFL guy, wasn't that familiar with his game, and watched all of his fights in a very, very short order as well.
Yeah. I mean, 8-0, this guy, he's 2-0 in the UFC, picked up a win on the Contender Series as well. That's kind of how he got in. But he hasn't fought anybody near the level of Curtis Blaydes. This is a guy that similar to Paulo Costa, never kind of quite got over, but he's been fighting the top of this division for a long time. The likes of Tom Aspinall, Derek Lewis, Jalton Almeida, he turned him back. Really, everybody that you can think of in the heavyweight division, Curtis Blaydes has fought. Josh Hokit fought two guys I've never heard of, probably back end of whatever the back end of the heavyweight division is, and looked damn good doing it. One thing that I was really impressed with him is just the pace that he puts on guys. Like it's clear that he's in better shape than a lot of heavyweights. Like he really, really pushes the pace. I think he was a All-American wrestler. I don't exactly know where. Going to be interesting to see how that plays out because Curtis Blaydes, that kind of is his specialty as well. Kind of always been known as the wrestler of the heavyweight division. You got to get through him. But I like Josh Hokit. I mean, he's entertaining, entertaining to say the least. A definite shtick that's quite interesting. But he's been in the hotel lobby picking fights all week. You just, I love a character. And I also like the thing that sold me on this is Curtis Blaydes' last fight. I didn't even watch it, and I should have, but I just saw it here. He went to a split decision with Rizvan Kuniev, and I'm just like, "Fuck,
Oh,
exactly. Um, Before that, got KO'd by Tom Aspinall. That's going to happen. Before that, turned back Jalton Almeida. He's since been cut, but was on a pretty freaking hot streak before getting to Curtis Blaydes. Um, so I'm just going to take Hokit here. Like you go to a split decision with Rizvan Kuniev, we got to have some freaking like. That's not enough to get me excited. I haven't seen anything out of Curtis Blaydes as of recent that tells me he's going to be fighting anywhere other than exactly where he's been fighting, which is like excuse me, 5 to 10 in the heavyweight division. Um, and we need some life at the top of heavyweight, so fuck it. Throw Josh Hokit in. He won his last fight by fucking middle finger. I don't know if you
that was
caught that one.
wild.
So, but truth be told, very skilled as well. And the pace that he puts on these fuckers is incredible, especially at heavyweight. You got to be able to manage that. Now, can he do it for 3 rounds? If it goes long, we haven't really seen him past the first. Who knows how that plays out? But how'd you see this one going?
One thing of note that I don't think we have touched on enough is his athleticism. Obviously, like I said, he's a former NFL guy, and
Yeah, I think he's a
just watch,
fullback.
watching him fight, it's his very, very athletic guy. 52% of the money here is on Curtis Blaydes. Take that with what you will. I think his shtick is a little bit too much. I'm more on the Curtis Blaydes like take on it, which is like he's trying to be Colby Covington, but like Colby Covington was like pretty good. And this guy just got here.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's a little bit weird when you say you're gonna kill somebody and sell their anus onto somebody else and then kill that person. And then he said he was gonna kill Alex Pereira, which is fucking crazy because Alex Pereira will kill you and bury you somewhere
Quite
in
literally.
Brazil, and nobody's gonna find your body. You're just gonna be dead in Brazil and be like, "What's is
Buzzards.
Brazil?" Yeah, I mean, fuck, you're done, dog. He's just gonna take you to the tribe and shoot you with arrows.
Bang.
You're cooked. That being said, I fucking hate Curtis Blaydes. I don't think he does any justice for the wrestlers in the UFC. He fights boring fights. He doesn't fight hard. He's obviously an awesome wrestler, a Division One All-American, all that fucking shit. I just fucking can't stand the guy. I have Josh Hokit in this fight as well. Happy to be on the same side with you here. Hokit has been pretty active, but this is his third fight in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Um, which is to be expected when you're an up and coming guy. I have him money line plus 114.
Yep.
Blades by decision though
Don't hate
is a
that.
little bit juicy
Don't hate.
at 225, but I do like Hokit here. I'm pulling a Brad here and betting with my heart because I really fucking hope Curtis Blades loses.
But it is, I mean, it's a massive step up. Like this is
It's
one that
huge.
you're betting with your heart feels about right here because we don't know what Josh Hokit is. We kind
I
of know
don't
what
know.
Curtis Blaydes is.
I've never watched anybody he's fought fight before. I've
Yeah.
never even heard of them. And I do a UFC podcast. No fucking idea who these people are, dog. Never seen anybody win a fight by a middle finger. The footage that they got, like, because that round was ending, was
Yeah.
hilarious. And a strange stoppage, a strange guy, a strange stick. I'm kind of talking myself into liking the guy, and I
I
don't
know.
like either of them. I'm all in on now. Give me Hokit plus 114. I hope he knocks him the fuck out.
I freaking love that, man. Like, well, I don't like all the disrespect you're throwing to Curtis Blaydes. Way Chicago's own, Illinois' own Curtis Blaydes, man, our countrymen. But Josh Hokit is I was kind of, I don't remember what I was talking about it on, but there's a couple guys at the back end of heavyweight that it's like it's time to just shove these guys into the deep end and find out what the fuck happens. Josh Hokit being one of them, Walter Walker being another. Like I don't need to see them fight anybody else below the back 15 because those guys are not
Not
even
very good.
close. Exactly. Like heavyweight is such a thin division that like you just kind of got to throw these guys into the deep end and sink or swim. And Curtis Blaydes is a fantastic litmus test for that. If he like starches Curtis Blaydes, you're now in the top five. He's kind of right to be calling out guys like, I'm not sure if he should be saying he's going to kill Alex Pereira. That's a freaking tough ask. That guy will sleep the fuck out of you. But you're now going to be in the conversation of guys that could be fighting next for the maybe not next for the title, but like a fight away.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got Tom Aspinall coming back. We got Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane as our interim fight. That whole top three is a big fucking mess right now that we still have to sort. But Josh Hokit's going to be on the short list after that if he gets a win here.
Yeah, and you didn't name the greatest of all time, John Jones, who just said
Ain't
over and
never
over
coming
again
back.
he wants to fight again. And if John Jones wants to fight again, he'll fight.
Ain't never coming back, boy.
Hey, let me dream. Let me dream.
Yeah, they missed it on the White House. That was a kind of a bummer. Have we talked about that?
Yeah,
Have we had any podcasts since that?
we did. We did.
Okay. Well, then we won't go over it again. You know what? I can't wait to go over Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. Wow, can I not wait to freaking watch this fight?
Yeah, it's awesome.
These guys are the same guy.
Literally, I have that written down. They're the same exact fucking guy. They're almost the same height and they're almost the same age. They're the same fucking person.
Yeah. Good chance that, I mean, not a good chance, almost a certifiably fact that one of these guys is going to sleep probably in pretty hilarious fashion, just kind of the way it happens. especially with Johnny Walker. He always tends to get knocked out in really kind of spectacular ways. Uh, but who's to fucking say? That's kind of the problem with this fight is like, who's to fucking say whose night it is? Because they're both pretty goddamn chinny. Um, Dominic Reyes last time out gets slept by Carlos Ulberg in a round. Johnny Walker, to his credit, took down Zhang Yang in
I'm
China.
glad you said it. I'm glad you said it because I was gonna try it and oof.
Wasn't going to happen.
I
But
wasn't. We were gonna get.
a pretty fucking impressive win, especially for a guy that's kind of known to be chinny and a guy in Zhang Yang who has never left the first round since he's entered the UFC, like 9 straight KOs or something like that. To get the win there via pretty much calf kicks. Um, just a psycho. Like, I think for me, it comes down to the fact that Johnny Walker is just such a freaking athlete that it can come from all angles. Like I said, calf kicks against Zhang Mingyang. I think he got Volkan Ozdemir or somebody similar with a similar face with like one leg in the air and a back fist. Like, that's kind of how I picked this one. I'm taking him by I'm just gonna take him money line plus 120. I don't really see like hard to pick over under here because it could happen within the first 10 seconds. Um, I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a pick written down for this fight.
You got to make one.
63%. This is me stalling. 63% of the money is on Dom here. Dom in the past, in his comeback did. I mean, he had his moments. Like he looked a couple of times. He looked like vintage Dom a little bit. And dude, they're just literally the same fucking guy.
Yeah.
If Johnny Walker knows where he is, he'll probably win this fight. Give me Dominic Reyes money line, minus 142, just so we're on the opposite sides of something today. I feel like we've been just holding hands the whole time. Dominic Reyes, maybe he gets it done.
Hard fight to pick. That's like literally
I
uh
have the over highlighted and I fucking hate that pitch.
oh brother. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Uh Impossible fight to pick, but a fun one. I think it's going to end quick. Somebody's getting 25K at least for a knockout. Cub Swanson, Nate Landwehr. Final fight for Cub Swanson. Illustrious career. I'll be honest. I think I came in a little after the prime of Cub Swanson. I don't really have a real attachment to Cub Swanson. Do you feel different about that? I know he's kind of a legend of the sport. He's done a lot of things. He's had some really fucking sweet fights, but like, not disparage him or anything. I just feel like I was a little late to the game to really be a hardcore of Cub Swanson.
Dude, like when my dad used to get invited over to fights when like we were children and
Yeah,
like they would just like drink beer in someone's garage and watch the UFC. Like
Cub
I
Swanson.
remember, yeah, I remember some of Cub Swanson then. I can't tell you a lot more about Cub Swanson besides the fact that this is a retirement fight. He's 42 years old. He is coming off a Cub Swanson is coming off a win
Billy
over
Quarantino.
Billy Quarantino in December 14th of 2014. And that I just think he's gonna beat the absolute fuck out of Nate Landwehr. Like
Damn.
I just don't see a way that Nate wins this fight. I mean, Cub doesn't really get knocked out very often, and Nate isn't very good. They're both, I mean, Nate's 37, Cub's
Yeah, they're both
42.
old men.
Nate can't really wrestle. Cub definitely can. I just don't see a way where Nate wins this fight. And Cub Swanson money lines plus 100 right now. If I were anybody watching this, I would jump on that immediately because it is not going to stay there for long.
Uh, Cub Swanson made it into the UFC in 2011. Listen to some of the names on his resume because it's all of them. Uh, Chad Mendez,
Shout out.
Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, Jeremy Stevens, Max Holloway, Frankie Edgar. He had a banger. The one that he's kind of famous for is the Doohoo Choi fight. Apparently, that was just a certified slugfest for the entirety of it. Brian Ortega. He's fought Crone Gracie out of nowhere. Shout out to Crone. How's he doing?
Sure.
Chikate. I'm surprised Crone Gracie hasn't been in more of these kind of weird like Brazilian grappling matches and shit like that. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
because
we
he's
don't
not in
see
the
more
UFC
Gracie.
anymore, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, maybe he just has like infinity dollars because
I
like
think the
they
Gracie's still all right.
invented BJJ.
Yeah. There's a
Speaking of, didn't look like they didn't want to be there. Every time I watch Crow and Gracie fight, he
oh,
looked like he'd
dude,
rather be anywhere
quite
else.
literally anywhere else. I'm taking this fight to go to the distance. That's
Fair
just the
enough.
vibe I got on it. I I don't know if I rate Nate higher than you, but he's another guy that just kind of causes chaos and shit can happen.
He
Um,
loves getting knocked out.
yeah, you're not wrong about that. Cub Swanson, what was that? 44 professional fights, only been KO'd 3 times. Nate Landwehr, only four. Come on, bro. Show some
Yeah, but
respect
hasn't he
to
been knocked
Nate.
out like three of his
Nate
last four?
the Train. Yeah, I mean, he got KO'd his last two.
I'm
Due to
saying,
Choi being one of them. Damn.
shout out. Also, that Cub Swanson resume was fucking insane.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
fought everyone.
Literally everyone. I think I miss Jose Aldo on there too. So just throw that one.
Shout out Jose Aldo.
That was pre UFC. Did he fight? Where did he fight? He was fighting WEC.
Right?
Even
Oh,
he was fighting WEC for a long time. He's got like 10 fights in the WEC before that. Yeah,
we've
Jose Aldo.
we've reached the part where we just look up Cub Swanson's resume.
Well, I'm trying to show some respect to the guy. He's
Hey,
retiring tonight. I'm sure they're going to put a
UFC
great
Hall of
package.
Famer
And I just
potentially.
probably. And I just
Maybe.
don't really like respect to him. I'm a self-proclaimed like COVID fan of UFC, hardcore after that, but like I've watched some fights before that, but not a ton. And Cub Swanson, since I would say I started becoming a fan, has a bunch of guys that he's got some somewhat good guys on there. Giga
Yeah.
Chikate lost, Andre
Oh,
Feely lost,
yeah.
Jonathan Martinez lost. Big wins over Darren Elkin, Daniel Pineda,
Wait, the
Hakeem.
Darren Elkin fight is literally just this same fight. This is exactly the
That
same
is
fight
pretty
as
much
the
the
Darren
same
Elkin
fight.
fight.
And he beat him by, I don't know if you want to take him by knockout right now, but he beat him by a spinning wheel kick.
Holy fuck.
Cub Swanson might put on tonight, baby. He
Throw
might
it
put
in.
the fuck on.
Throw it in the video. Throw it in.
I
I
don't know
gotta
if I
see it.
want this. I
I
don't know if I
gotta
want this distance anymore because
I
that is the
gotta
same
see
fight. Darren
I
Elkins, Nate
gotta
Landwehr is the same
I
fucking
gotta
fight.
see the TikTok. I just cut up me being like, I gotta see the TikTok. And just Coach Swanson to wheel
Ugh.
kicking that motherfucker. Oh my god, Darren Elkin. Do you think he's still like alive?
He fought not that long ago, surprisingly. He might have just retired too. Last fight was 2025, April 12th, about a year ago today. Julian Erosa, he got elbowed in the face in the first round and lost.
Shout out Dan Elkin though, you know.
Legend. This
Horrible
is,
tattoos.
you're spot on the same fucking fight.
This is the exact same fight.
That is our main card. Go ahead.
Hey, I will let you change. You can go back. You can go. Hey, come on, come on, come on. You can come over here.
I'm
Watch
gonna,
some more.
I gotta lock it in. I gotta lock it in. The distance.
Hey, but
And
before we wrap up, I have another pick for this card that I love.
well, let me freaking lead into
Sorry,
it first, bro. I'm trying to get to the prelims, and you're just freaking firing off. Prelims. We got some fun fights on here. I'm sure you're about to tell me something about Patricio Pitbull and Aaron Pico. Maybe you're not. I love the Mateusz Gamrot Esteban Ribovics fight. Esteban Ribovics, a certified psycho. Tatiana Suarez back at it after losing her title fight against Lupita Godinez. Lupi Godinez. We even got Kelvin Gastelum and Vicente Luque, 2 fights from the bottom. What do you like on this one?
Sorry. Speaking of people who don't want to fucking be there, neither of those people want to fight. I can
Absolutely not.
guarantee you, neither of them want to be there. Sorry. You. I have to watch that fight because they're both just not gonna want to be
The
there.
question is, who's got the bigger head?
I don't know. Great question. You, you hit the nail on the head. Aaron Pico, Patricio Pitbull. Aaron Pico has, in his career, has never lost 2 fights in a row. Uh, Patricio Pitbull, old, washed up, not very good. Aaron Pico, incredibly talented, young, good looking. I'll just throw that one out there.
Sure, why
Um,
not?
Incredibly talented, and the Lerone Murphy fight went literally exactly how I said it was going to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, you called that.
Um, Patricio Pitbull does not hit as hard as Lerone Murphy. Aaron Pico by knockout is plus 140 is the easiest fucking money I've ever earned in my life.
Yeah, I didn't pick a method of victory, but I definitely have Aaron Pico in that fight. Um, yeah, Kevin Holland,
Do you
Randy
have,
Ruboy Brown.
do you have a line for that?
I can find it in about 13 seconds. Plus 245. Pitbull's a plus 245. Aaron
Oh
Pico
no,
minus 305 for KO.
no, I meant the Kevin Holland fight.
Oh,
Aaron Pico is plus
just let
140 for KO, right?
method of victory. He's plus 140 for KO, correct. For Kevin
Money.
Holland and Randy Ruboy Brown, we're talking about a little action at minus 110, minus 110. Even money fight. I was about to say these are the same people again.
They are. Whatever the line is for that to go decision.
Yeah, I'd like to take minus 110 on that one.
Yep. Yep. Give me minus 110 as well. Metellus Gamrot. This is a good fight.
This is a good
I,
fight. This is a
I
good
like
fight.
this fight.
Mateusz Gamrot coming off of a loss to Charles Oliveira, another guy that's fought a lot of the top guys in the division, never really got over. But Esteban Rivovic's kind of making his way up into the rankings. Dude strictly puts on wars. Daniel Huber at the Sphere, a certified war. Nasrat Hapras lost a split decision. I thought he won a certified war. Elvis Brenner, a certified war. Before that, he head kicked Terrence McKinney in 37 seconds. The dude's a freaking psycho out of Argentina. I'm a big Esteban Rivovic's fan, just the style of fight he has. But Mateusz Gamrot is a different animal for sure. And if he can take him down, I don't know if I've seen a ton of Esteban Rivovic's working off the ground. He's definitely got that sort of advantage.
Yeah, 100%. But like also Esteban Ribovic could just knock out Metellus Gamrot in like 13
100%.
seconds with like a spinning heel kick. But I do like Gamrot. I don't know what his line is, money line. If I can have him by decision as well, I would also like that.
Minus 185 on the money line to plus 154 Esteban Ribovics. And if you're taking his fight to go to the decision, you're minus 120. So not too much value on the decision. I guess that's kind of how they see Mateusz Gamrot fighting here. But
Vicente Luque by KO.
sure. Kevin Gaslam's a hard dude to put out.
Yeah, but I'm looking at his picture and it looks like if I stood next to an underwear model,
So you're
not
just
exactly great.
Oh, Kelvin Gaslam looks like
Yeah.
you're standing next
Yeah.
to an underwear model. Okay.
No, no, no.
I thought
Him
you were
standing next to
saying this.
Vicente Luque
You're saying he's very
looks.
attractive?
No, I'm saying he looks terrible standing next to Vicente Luque.
Oh, Kevin Gaslam looks bad. Standing next to Vicente Luque.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Okay,
There's
we're
no
on the
way.
same page. Yeah, I
We
don't
can't
doubt
have
that
this.
for 1 second.
Oh, the Prado kid. He's good.
Francisco Prado, I'm not super high on him. He's like a Marvin Vittori light. Speaking of big domes, dude's got one. Um, Tough head though.
Oh, he's lost 3 in a row. I take everything I said back. I
Yeah,
watched him
Charles
fight.
Radke's, I think his last fight was probably Mike Malott. I'd have to look it up, but he got knocked out in the first round against Mike Malott. But
That sounds like Mike Malott. Mike Malott either knocks you out or gets knocked out.
yeah, Mike Malott's got a big one coming up. Let's just do a quick peek just before we let you out of here, if you don't mind. Let's take a quick peek at what's coming up because Mike Malott, I believe, is the next week, and he is fighting Gilbert Burns. Yep, that is next week. Gilbert Burns,
Ooh.
Mike Malott in Canada. I want to say Mike Malott is maybe 3 for 4 in Canada. The only one he lost was Neil Magny, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a very like dominated the first two rounds and then got choked out in the third.
Losing to Neil Magny is like not a good look, though. Neil
It's
Magny
not a
is
good look. In his last fight
washed
out,
up.
he
Speaking of big heads, Neil Magny, cranium.
last fight out, Mike Malott beat Kevin Holland via nut kicks. So he's not exactly streaking right now. I mean, one, but I think he kicked Kevin Holland in the nuts like three times.
He kicked him in the
Uh,
nuts a lot.
Nothing else that's super interesting that we really need to dig into now. I love me some Jasmine Jasavicius, looking for her to come back. She's been a killer in Canada. Aljamain
Uh,
Sterling, Yusuf Zalal after that. Sorry, do you have something else for that?
that's what I was going to bring up.
It's a great fight.
It is a great fight. Hopefully entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, could very well play out similar to like the Aljamain Sterling and Mosar Evloev fight. Both these guys are grappling first. Yusuf Zalal's a little bit more, he can dance on the feet, but I mean, he subbed out Josh Emmett in like a minute last time out. Aljamain Sterling is probably coming off. He is so inactive as of recent. I think he's coming off of that Mosar fight, which feels like it was 3 years ago.
His last fight, he beat Brian Ortega.
I don't remember that at all.
Me either. I didn't remember
That
Brian
fight
Ortega
happened?
even
Is that a
still
real
fought.
fight? Aljamain
Yeah,
Sterling, Brian Ortega?
Aljamain Sterling, Brian Ortega, August 23rd, 2025, unanimous decision.
I literally have no recollection of that fight.
That
What's
was the fight in China.
That's probably why. Same one that Johnny Walker and Zhang Mingyang were on. So that was
Yeah,
middle of the night. I think that started at
China.
like 5 o'clock.
Uh, on that card, the hottest fighter in the UFC is on my man Barcelios.
Who? Heine
Rene,
Barcelos. Yeah, come on. The dog. Don't sleep on
hottest,
Heine, bro.
hottest fighter in the UFC.
60 years old, still fucking doing it. Fuck yes. I thought you were talking about Norma Dumont, but that's all right too.
No, 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 fuck that. Barcelios. Dude, he beat Peyton Talbot, Ricky Simone, Cody Garbrandt, fuck Cody Garbrandt, and Christian Quinones.
Frick
Shout
yes.
out Christian Quinones. Shout out.
Frick yes, he did. And UFC Perth comes after that. Do you know who fights on UFC Perth? Because it's a fucking banger.
I'm sure I do. UFC
Jack
Perth.
Della Maddalena versus Carlos freaking Prates, baby. I love that
Ooh.
fight.
Ooh, loser leaves town.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, probably not, but yeah. I mean,
That fight's gonna.
Jack lives there, so he'll probably stay around.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
would say
Loser leaves
Carlos
town.
is probably going to bounce afterwards, win or lose.
That
But
fight's gonna be awesome. That fight's gonna kick so much ass.
yeah, it's going to be a fucking rock star fight. Should be completely stand up driven. Looking to see how Jack Della Maddalena bounces back after a pretty dominant loss to Islam Makhachev, but completely different style of fight. Obviously, Carlos Prates, zero plans of taking you down. His plan is to knock your head off, and he's pretty goddamn good at doing it. But
Ooh,
Jack Della Maddalena,
Quinlan Salkid's on that. Sorry, go ahead.
Jack Della Maddalena, boxing specialist. His hands have looked fantastic in most of the fights he's had. Minus Islam Makhachev because he didn't really get to let him go. But Quillen Southkid coming back against Benny Dariush. Love that fight. Love Quillen Southkid. Probably gets that one done, but sneaky Benil, he's a tricky little cat. Sometimes don't sleep. I'm
No, he
not saying
isn't.
it's going to
No,
happen,
he isn't.
but Benil is a sneaky little bastard. And I'm
He's
thinking of
not.
a sneaky little bastard, brother.
His last fight he won. The last
Yeah,
fight he
he
won
got
was against
KO'd face down
Moy,
against
but
Benoit Saint
he
Denis.
beat Moicano, who sucks. This card is not good.
Perth.
Yeah.
Well, it's a fight night, and you're getting Carlos Prates, Jack Della Maddalena, and you're getting Quillen Salkid, so
Oh,
you
it
can't
is a fight
complain too
night.
much. Uh,
Gerald Marshot still fights?
oh yeah, he's got to have at least 70 fights. Oh, I just saw Steve Urseg at the bottom there against Tim Elliott.
Yeah. Tim
Love that.
Elliott. He's 500 years old.
Jiro Mearshart, guess how many UFC fights he has?
Oh, I won't look. UFC fights?
Sorry, fights in general.
Uh, 48.
He is 37-21, which puts him at 58 professional fights.
That's too many.
29 submissions.
Yeah, he's terrible. Speaking of people who look like they don't want to be there. But you know where I do want to be? On this show with you more often. I wish there was more numbered cards.
What?
I wish there, I said I was wish there was more numbered
Oh, I
cards.
appreciate you saying that, man. That's really kind of you. Yeah, I always feel like every time I see it, it feels like we haven't been together for 10 freaking years.
I
So they need to
know.
step it up. But I think it does pick up come summertime. Obviously, we got UFC 328, and then we're gonna run that right pretty soon after into the White House card. I assume we're talking about that one. And then
Yeah.
International Fight Week. But fucking pleasure, dude. As always. This has been Read Between the Lines. I'm Bradley Gleason. That's Cody Hooper. If you like
I
what you
did not kill my housekeeper.
up for debate, where's Marta? Peace.